Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Couch Potato Podcast on this new episode Tuesday. On today's show, I'm joined by the First Lady of the Couch Potato Podcast, Jen, and our good friend Luke to discuss the 1990 holiday classic Home Alone. If you like what we're doing here at the show, be sure to subscribe on Apple, Spotify, Google, Pandora, or wherever you get podcasts. We're pretty much available everywhere. And if you listen to us on Apple, be sure to leave us a 5-star review. So, without further ado, here's Home Alone.
We're gonna miss the plane!
In their rush to the airport, the McCallisters overlooked one minor detail.
Kevin! Ah!
Now, his parents are in a panic.
Somebody pick up. Pick up!
Two burglars are in trouble.
We noticed your ring there.
And Kevin is in heaven. Home Alone. Yes. Rated PG. Starts Friday, November 16th at theaters everywhere.
All right, welcome back to the Couch Potato Podcast. I am Russ. Unfortunately, Lucas will not be joining us tonight. He's got a job, so he's got to pay the bills. So he once again puts his family and priorities ahead of the show. But we'll move on. But I got a murderer's row of guests with me tonight. First off, I've got the First Lady of the Couch Potato Podcast, Jen. Welcome back.
Well, thank you very much, Russell. I do appreciate that. Thank you.
I'm glad you were able to join us in the luxurious kitchen studio in Ohio.
I mean, it's just fantastic.
We have all the amenities. I make it a first-class experience for all guests that come into the studio.
Well, I appreciate that.
And coming to us all the way from Cincinnati, Ohio, good friend of the show, Luke, is joining us tonight. Luke, how's it going, my friend?
Oh, it's going great. I'm coming to you from the basement studio here in Cincinnati, Ohio.
All right. We've got all kinds of studios in the house. The pandemic has created all kinds of new recording space for us independent content creators. We're doing Home Alone this evening, which movie I've been circling for a while. I've been wanting to do this for quite a long time. We planned on doing it last year, but of course things didn't work out, so here we are tonight. So, I want to ask you both first, what is your first experience with Home Alone? Jen, I will start with you. When was the first time you seen Home Alone?
Let's see. It's 91, right?
Correct.
Okay, so I want to say
No,
I
it's
seen
1990.
90. I think I seen that in theaters with my parents and my brother.
Oh, wow. Really?
I think so. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I want to say that we went to the mall cinema and saw that.
For those of you that are familiar with the Springfield, Ohio area, the mall cinema is a dump.
Literally.
It is a shithole, which is no longer open. So.
R.I.P.
Yep. R.I.P. Checkers Theaters. Luke, when was the first time you seen Home Alone?
You know, I don't know if I can pinpoint it. I have a vague memory of watching it when I was younger as one of those movies where my parents went to their friend's house, and so they could drink upstairs with their friends. They put all the kids in the basement.
Lock the door.
And I think that's the first time I saw Home Alone, was sitting in a basement in probably Urbana, Ohio.
That's
Doors
awesome.
Locked, no bathroom facilities.
Nope.
Bunch of kids had to fight over 3 pieces of pizza.
Pretty much, yeah. It was basically a fight club in the basement. They'd yell at us if we were being too loud, even though they were just really screaming and hollering upstairs about, who knows what.
Fuck, is that the movie, or is that adults about ready to throw blows up there?
When we get a house with a basement, I feel like that's what we should do. We should just have parties, and we can stay upstairs and get drunk, and the kids can just hoot and holler downstairs. I think it sounds like a great plan.
On one condition.
That's what you do.
Yeah.
I do need
Why not?
a smoking jacket and an ascot.
Well, you have to get a smoker. You have to make sure you have a smoker, and you can barbecue and all those types of things too. You gotta do it all.
With my smoking jacket
Yes.
and my ascot.
Of course.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
Yes.
I'm totally...
And there's house shoes that you can just flip on and off real easy.
Yeah, what was it?
Like Cousin Eddie from, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, but like the house shoes version of his fancy shoes, kind of a thing is what I'm
Or
picturing.
those like boat shoes.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that works too.
I
That's
could-
classy.
I could see it.
At parties, people can refer to me as the captain.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you have to get like a pipe.
Yeah, and a hat, and a hat.
Apostrophe in.
And a hat.
That's right. I know for me, this is, I don't know, I've mentioned this time or two. This is like my mom has a rotation of like 6, 7, 8 movies that she watches all the time. The only movies she'll watch. Home Alone is definitely in that elite group of movies that she'll watch.
Mm-hmm.
And I think when this movie came out, between this one and Kindergarten Cop, I think I've seen both of them like 10 or 11 times in movie theaters. Because my mom used to take me and my brother to the movies all the time. And whenever we would go, usually she let us pick, but it seemed like that time frame, it's like she was either in an Arnold mood or a Home Alone mood. So I seen this movie a fucking shit ton. And then when it came out on home video, I think I've told you guys that they used to only sell certain movies on VHS for like affordable price. Of course, the day this came out, my mom bought it, and it pretty much got ran into the fucking ground at my house. My mom will watch this movie at Christmas time. She'll watch it spring. Doesn't matter.
That along with Twilight, let's see, Sweeney Todd, 50 Shades of Grey.
Well, you got her on 50 Shades of Grey.
I know. It's so awful. It's awful, but it's amusing, and it's even more amusing because she likes it, and she sits there and goes, "Oh, he's so cute."
Oh, Lord.
Oh, Lord, exactly.
Yes, my mom's
Parents.
all about those dirty shows now. She'll even tell Jen, like, I was watching the 50 Shades of Grey movies on TNT. Like, they lose a lot of their effectiveness on TNT now.
Oh, man.
But yeah, I've seen this movie a ton, and I didn't even watch it for a long time until I think you and I, after we got married, I think made the rotation of Christmas movies in our house.
Yeah, it's one we definitely watch every year during the holidays for sure.
But yeah, it still gets constant play. You can kind of see it in a different point of view now after having kids.
Yeah, definitely. Especially like the fighting amongst siblings and those types of things.
I think
relate with
when
that.
The alarm, or they miss the alarm to go to the airport, that is us. Anytime we're trying to wrangle our kids up to do anything.
Yeah. And it seems to be the only time that there's like magically like things on the floor that you trip over, something that you find every day, like, you know, or you know exactly where it's at, like your keys or your cell phone or something. Magically, you're trying to leave. You can't find that. Your kids forget, Mom, where's this? Mom, where's that? Where's my coat? Where's my shoes? I'm like, I can barely keep track of myself. I don't know where any of your shit's at.
I think going forward, whenever we have a family gathering or like a get together, we're gonna do something with the kids.
Mm-hmm.
I think to make things more fun, I'll just play that song from the home, that scene where they're all scrambling around trying to get stuff together. I think it'll make it more fun. It's less stressful.
Add some background music.
Yeah, it's
I don't
just
know.
a big blasting the entire time we're doing it. You know, kids screaming, kids arguing, us yelling at them.
Yeah.
It'll make it much more fun.
I think my cursing would just drown out the music, though, probably.
I just have to turn it up. It's too loud, it's too old.
Good luck drowning out my cursing. I don't know what to tell you.
It's like the Incredible Hulk here when she gets super mad.
Nah.
Fucking holes get busted in walls, cars get tipped over.
Nah.
It's fucking chaos.
He's lying.
Now that I mentioned Christmas movies, I did have an interesting question for the both of you. In terms of Christmas movies, I've seen some stories where people don't really consider this a Christmas movie. Whoever thinks that is a fucking idiot, but I digress. Where would you guys rank this movie as the best Christmas movie of all time? Like, where would you put it? I'll start with you, Jen.
Oh, man. I'd have to say 3 or 4 for me if I had to rank it.
Oh, what
It's in my top 5.
What would you have in... If somebody is like not watch Christmas movies and you want to entertain them for a couple of days, which please don't stay at my house for longer than a day or two. But if you're like showing people Christmas movies, what would you show them?
Besides Home Alone, so National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation is my all-time favorite Christmas movie. That will never get old. I think I watch it 5 or 6 times during the holiday season. Bad Santa's at number 2 for me because, I mean, come on. It's wonderful. I love Billy Bob Thornton. It's ridiculously raunchy and bad humans, and I just love it. Number 3 for me would either be Home Alone or A Christmas Story.
Okay.
They're almost a close tie, so it's kind of hard for me to say Home Alone's 3 and A Christmas Story's 4, but it's definitely in my top 5. But those are just some that I would recommend. Gremlins for me is also a Christmas movie, not for everyone, but I love it.
And that's why I love you.
Why? Because Gremlins a Christmas movie, or because I love Gremlins?
Because you love Gremlins.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Luke, what about you, buddy? What would where would Home Alone rank amongst the best Christmas movies of all time for you?
Say probably like, I think 3 is like it's a solid 3 for me. If we're going by the movies I probably watch the most during the holiday season, say Home Alone. I don't know. 1 and 2 is tough because Christmas Vacation's a classic. I probably watch it like 3 or 4 times between mid-November and Christmas. And I love, and anybody who says Home Alone's not a Christmas movie is going to hate this, but Trading Places. I love it. I watch it like,
It's a good movie.
I think we watch it like 5 or 6 times. Like starting in November, it's like, let's watch Trading Places because it's just one of my favorite movies, and you can loosely put it in the Christmas category.
I never thought of that as a Christmas movie.
Yeah.
It makes perfect sense because I always liken a Christmas movie to if it takes place during a Christmas season. It doesn't have to be about Christmas, but I always consider holiday movies that take place during the holidays.
Right. Like Die Hard for you is a Christmas movie.
Oh, that's number 1 for me. Like I watch Die
I
Hard every
figured.
fucking year at Christmas time.
Damn. That might push Home Alone to 4 because I totally blanked on Die Hard there.
Oh,
So
when we put that Die Hard episode out last year and I promoted it, it caused quite a bit of argument on the old Facebook.
It did.
Wow.
It was pretty serious.
Yeah. Somebody that listened to the show said it wasn't a Christmas movie because it didn't have a Christmas theme to it. Jen said, yes, it is. And if you don't like my opinion, I'm going to find out where you live and I'm going to go fuck you up.
no, I mean that's the rational answer to some dumb bullshit like that.
We teach our kids that if someone doesn't agree with you, just threaten them.
I'm trying to remember who that was.
I don't remember who it was.
It was like a friend of a friend of a friend or one of them things.
Yeah, it's like that Wayne's World scene where he tells 2 friends and they tell 2 friends.
Yeah.
It's like it morphs into this big thing.
The telephone game.
The person that actually said it would be like clear out of the picture.
Right. He was arguing his point though, and he just was trying to go round and round and round. I do remember that. I just can't remember his name for the life of me. But
I would say for me it would be Die Hard, Christmas Vacation, Gremlins, Home Alone, and just because it's on TV all the time, and I think I never watch it in one sitting, but I always piecemeal the whole movie together. A Christmas Story.
Mm.
I watch like 20 minutes here, like 15 minutes there, and then by the 24 hours after it's ended, I've seen the whole thing.
yeah, you catch a minute here, 5 minutes there, and
when
you like get a piece it together.
At Christmas Eve and Christmas morning, like Christmas Eve, I'm usually getting the presents wrapped for the kids.
Right.
I try to watch it then, and then Christmas morning is just absolute fucking chaos.
The whole day's chaos.
So it's like, okay, I'm gonna watch A Christmas Story while our kids like destroy the wrapping and the box shit for their Christmas gifts, and they've made an absolute mess on the floor. And I've got to try on clothes, and then put the kids down for a nap. So I was like, okay, yeah, I've seen the whole thing.
And I sent nervous anxiety because I'm a clean freak. And I'm also the weirdo over here with like the top like 2 movie for me. Christmas is Bad Santa. I don't know what that says about me, but I like it anyways.
I think that if I wasn't married and didn't have kids and I was a degenerate, I actually see myself taking that same path that Billy Bob Thornton does in that movie.
No, I think that would have been me. That would have been me. That wouldn't have been you.
Yeah, you're probably right.
That's okay. I own it. It's fine.
Right. You'll always be my degenerate, though.
I know.
All right. Well, great list, guys. Great list. I think we might be doing Christmas Vacation before Christmas. I
Wow.
may have dropped the bombshell for the 7 or 8 people that listen to it.
I'm here for that episode.
All right.
Yes.
I will write you down
Yes.
in my book.
Don't even need to watch it. I mean, of course I will, but it's a good one.
Yeah, I think that's going to happen.
Yes.
All right. Let's get into the categories, shall we?
Sure. Let's do
All
it.
right. The Tale of the Tape. This movie was released on November the 16th, 1990. Just turned 31 years old this year.
Happy birthday.
We should send it a card.
We should.
Chris Columbus, send us your mailing address. I'm going to send you a card. This stars Macaulay Culkin, Catherine O'Hara, Joe Pesci, Daniel Stern, John Hurd, and John Candy. Directed by Christopher Columbus, not the founder of America, but the director of such kids' movies as this and the Harry Potter. Did he do Adventures in Babysitting too?
Oh man, did he? That's a great movie. I think he did. It feels like it.
I'm going to look it up.
All right, yeah.
That feels right.
I think he did that one too.
God, I love that movie.
He also did Mrs. Doubtfire.
That one doesn't hold up as well.
No, Robin Williams, hilarious performance, but yeah, that movie hasn't aged very well. Rotten Tomatoes score of 66% from critics and an audience score of 80%. $467 million on an $18 million budget. Nominated for 2 Academy Awards, including Best Score for John Williams, who I found out wasn't the original choice to be the composer for this movie. He jumped in after the original backed out. Pretty iconic score from John Williams, which that guy makes anything iconic. If I won the lottery, I've actually considered having him, see if I could cut him a check to just write a soundtrack for me. Just okay, hit play, Russ goes to the store. Russ gets the kids ready for bed. It's a different track.
Oh man, that'd be amazing. Just
like your recreation of the Price is Right set.
That is another thing I would buy. I'd rent a warehouse. I would do this show out of that warehouse, and then I would also have a replica set of The Price is Right. And I'd have my friends come and play games, and they could win gift cards to places like Subway and Pizza Hut and Best Buy.
And I would open a dog rescue and buy a gremlin, not the movie Gremlin, but the car Gremlin.
Oh, I'm looking for a Mogwai.
That he has I just got a couple small things. He's got all these big glamorous plans.
Go big or go home. Also, this movie was nominated for Best Original Song, Somewhere in My Memory, also written by John Williams. I am not going to sing that song because I don't want to butcher it. And this movie is streaming on Disney+.
Oh. You finally caught a winner with it's actually streaming somewhere.
Oh, we've been on a roll here lately.
Have you? Oh,
yeah.
okay. Oh.
Yeah, Midnight Run was on Netflix, and it was on the Peacock.
I see what you did there.
And, Beetlejuice was on HBO Max, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's Paramount that I have the issue
with.
with.
It's Paramount. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, and for the record, Christopher Columbus did direct, or Chris Columbus, whatever he goes by.
Columbus.
He did direct Adventures in Babysitting.
Hot damn. Chalk
Per
one
the
up.
Google machine. That's what it
chalk
said.
One up for me.
Yes. That's what it said. Good job.
All right. The Detective William Somerset Research Corner got a few little nuggets of info about this movie. Robert De Niro and John Lovitz were considered for the role of Harry.
Nope.
Before John Pesci took the role. Yeah, that doesn't. I'm not a John Lovitz fan. I think I am on record as saying so. I don't like him. I've never found him funny.
Hard stance.
Yeah, I will argue that till I'm blue in the face that I just don't find him to be funny. And Robert De Niro just kind of comes off as being a little creepy.
Yeah, I don't want him around a bunch of kids.
De Niro playing Harry would be like, I don't know if you guys remember watching Unsolved Mysteries as a kid.
Yes, absolutely.
But one of the things, or even there was a show called Rescue 911 that was hosted by Bill Shatner.
I remember that.
Since I do a Hollywood-based show, I can call William Shatner Bill.
Oh, okay.
Bill.
Good old Bill.
But they used to have this thing that always creeped me out. It was always the guy that's getting ready to break into the house, and he's peering in your window. Every time they'd have a break-in story, it fucking freaked me out because I always had to go to bed right after that show was over.
Oh, no.
And I just picture Robert De Niro being that creepy guy from Rescue 911.
Oh, okay.
This one I found to be very interesting that Daniel Stern backed out of this originally. He agreed to a 6-week shooting schedule, and then once they got ready to shoot, they said that they were going to be shooting for 8 weeks, so he decided to back out once Fox wasn't going to give him more money. So they cast Daniel Roebuck, who you might remember. He was one of the detectives in The Fugitive, and he played the teacher, Mr. Arts, I think, from Lost. He's the one that gets blown up on the island. He has one of those faces that you would know who he is if you've seen him, but he's the one in The Fugitive that says Hinky.
Man, no. Okay. Not ringing a bell for me.
Okay. Well, yeah.
Sorry.
It's another Google moment.
Yeah, Daniel Roebuck was cast as Marv after that, but they didn't think that the chemistry between him and Joe Pesci worked, so they caved in and gave Daniel Stern more money to come back and be the other half of the Wet Bandits.
Well, I think that was a perfect lineup for the two of them, sure.
They actually, I guess they gave Daniel Roebuck like a big check that they said like, hey, we'll pay you this, but you can't take any roles until we're done filming Home Alone.
All right, I just looked him up. Yep, I know who that guy is.
Yeah, like the first thing I thought of was The Fugitive, because he's the detective that says the weird word in the hospital. And then, I remember him as Lost. He was the guy that, I think he was the teacher when they found the Dharma Initiative folks. I don't
know. He's one of those actors where I know him, but I don't know why I know him. Mm-hmm. He's probably been in like a million secondary supporting parts.
Oh, okay.
He's one of those actors that's like the epitome of the Leo meme from Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. The Point. You know who it is, but you don't know his name.
Yeah. I'll have to Google it later.
That might be a category.
What's that?
The Rick Dalton.
It's not bad.
Point for like that guy.
Okay.
Maybe not. Who knows? Chris Columbus was hired by John Hughes to direct National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
Very good.
But he backed out because apparently Chevy Chase is a giant asshole.
He is?
Oh, Chevy
I've
Chase
heard that.
I didn't know that.
He has a reputation for being very difficult to work with. And Chris Columbus decided he didn't want to do the movie because him and Chevy clashed. So Hughes promised him another project down the road, and he sent him the script for some movie and the script for Home Alone, and he chose Home Alone.
Oh, okay.
I do remember this being a thing. Home Alone was the #1 movie at the box office for 12 weeks in a row.
Wow.
Man.
Yeah, that's never fucking happens anymore. It's like 3 weeks, and then like it's you can get it on iTunes like a month later.
So did they hold a record for that? Or
I don't know if that's a record. I didn't bother to look that up. I just thought that was insane.
I know it sounds. That's why I'm asking if it's a record, because it sounds like such a long time to be #1 at a box office.
I'm sure Titanic blew that out of the water.
Yeah,
probably.
Like Titanic, I think came out in December. And I think that thing played until like April or May of the following year.
Oh my God! I saw that in the movie theater so many times.
There's something about Mary had like it never really. I don't think there's something about Mary ever made #1, or if it did, it was like 3 or 4 weeks into its run. But that movie had really long legs too. That thing played for months in theaters too.
Yeah, you don't see that happen anymore. It's like what, like a month ish.
Yeah, all these movies have like 45-day windows now.
Right, it's crazy.
Yeah, you can watch them from home.
Yeah.
Or even less than that.
Yeah.
It's a dud.
Yep.
I love it.
Same.
I don't mind it too much. I have noticed that HBO Max, with the exception of Dune, which is an awesome movie, what I've seen of it, I haven't finished it yet. but for the most part, most of the HBO Max stuff they've been putting in theaters and on their streaming service at the same time. Those movies have kind of sucked.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah. I liked Dune, and I liked Malevolent. That was pretty sweet. But those are the only two I could really think of.
I didn't see Malevolent.
I don't remember if I
wild one.
watched. Is it on HBO Max, right? Or was?
I don't
or
think it is. I don't think it does anymore.
Yeah, I don't remember if I ended up watching that or not. Oh, crap.
Oh, the Suicide Squad was one of those. That was a sweet movie.
Too, but I've seen that in movie theaters.
Yeah, I watched it on my couch.
John Candy filmed all of his scenes in one day and was paid scale, which is like the minimum salary you can be paid to work on a film. The kid that played the pizza delivery driver made more on this movie than John Candy did.
What? That's crazy.
Yeah, I think I read he did it like as a favor, kind of like he was around, and not the pizza kid, John Candy.
Well, the pizza kid was around too, but yeah.
He was around, yeah.
I actually thought this for the longest time until the invention of the internet, but for those of you that don't know, Angels with Filthy Souls is not a real movie.
I know. When you told me that, I was blown away. I was like, what?
Yep.
What do you mean it's not a real movie? Because I was Googling it and trying to find it, couldn't find it anywhere, and then he told me that, and I was like, well, shit. No wonder I can't find it.
No, they did a really good job of
They did.
making a fake ass old movie.
Right.
I was like, I definitely thought it was a real flick until,
Yep.
I was a grown man.
It was so good that they made a sequel for the sequel.
Right.
They did.
The last one I have is Hillary Wolf, who plays Kevin's sister Megan, actually represented the good old U.S. of A. in the Olympics in '96 and 2000 in judo.
Huh.
I tell you what, Marv and Harry, I don't know if I want to run into that buzzsaw. Like, what if she got left home alone? Turns into a fucking Steven Seagal movie pretty quick.
I mean, it could.
Limbs getting broken, roundhouse kicks to the face. I don't know if they do that in judo. I don't think they do. I'm probably movie.
I think you're thinking of the Hollywood version of like what judo would be, kind of a thing.
I just picture that movie turning into fucking Roadhouse / Hard to Kill pretty quick. That's all I got. Luke, do you have any fun facts for the Home Alone listeners out there?
I really don't. You kind of you got the ones I knew. I knew the John Candy one. I knew the John Hughes / Chris Columbus one, but I don't think I have any hot, fresh takes on Home Alone.
Oh damn! I shit on the internet research category. I stole all of them.
I watched a while ago. I watched the Movies That Made Us. It was like the one episode I made it through for that guy's annoying ass voice got up my nerves enough to stop watching that show.
Yeah, it's a rough watch just because of that guy's voice. I have thought about writing to producers of that show, like, hey, listen, if you do another run of this, can I do it?
Yeah, just this needs an everyman, not an uptight British guy throwing zingers.
I can do my voice I have now. I can do the sultry R&B radio DJ.
What?
Yeah, the movies.
He's doing it right now.
Oh. I can't even hear you.
And I'm sitting right next to you.
I know, but that's what I'm saying.
I know you don't have any research because you were upset that you didn't have time to do research when we decided to record this. So I know you don't have anything.
I wasn't upset. I was upset because I couldn't find a piece of paper. That's why I was upset.
You know what? I have a phone that has a app called Notes. Type shit out on that.
Well, I don't have any fun facts about this movie. I'm sorry. I don't.
Your fun fact.
I'm poorly prepared. I'm sorry.
Your fun fact is you don't have any fun facts.
That's it. No fun facts.
All right. Well, now that we're done with that category.
Fun factsless Jen.
Yep. Maybe your nickname going forward might cross off the first lady and just fun factless Jen.
Okay. Why not? Whatever.
All right. The I Drink Your Milkshake Award for the best scene of the movie.
I drink your milkshake. boy! Drink it up!
I will lead off with you, Jen, since you didn't have anything to contribute to the research.
Oh, put me on the spot, huh?
Yep.
So my favorite scene of the movie I think for a lot of people was when the two burglars, the wet bandits, whatever the hell they're called, they're getting in there and he has all these different traps and things and whatnot. And I think the fact that a 5-year-old child, is he 5?
I think
Is that
he's
right?
9 or 10. He's a little older than 5.
Is he? I could have sworn in the movie they're like, you're 5 years old, you can pack your own luggage or something like that. I could have sworn he was 5. Maybe I'm wrong. Anyhow, however old he is, he's small, and he thinks of like these ingenious ways to stop these burglars is just hilarious. The antics that he goes to make them think that there's actually people there and things like that, and they just walk totally unexpected into all these different things, and it's just absolutely hilarious.
Oh, so you're talking about like the montage where he's setting up all the booby traps and then like the process, like
right, the process, and then of course when they actually walk into everything, because the way that he sets some of this up, I look at that and think they're surely gonna like see that, like they're gonna. He's like Marv. He's going to see the red hot doorknob. You would think that he would have noticed that, and he grabs it anyway. I mean, if I see a doorknob and it's flaming red hot, I'm going to think something's happening and maybe I shouldn't touch that. You don't think they're going to fall for it, but they just end up falling for all of it. So I like the whole combination of all of that.
If I could play devil's advocate for just a second, I can't tell you how many times I've burned my hand reaching for something in a stove, knowing full good and well that it's hot.
I'm confused. I don't understand even what you're saying.
I have opened up a stove with something cooking inside stove, because you use a stove to cook stuff.
No shit.
And I've grabbed said thing cooking in an oven with my bare hands, knowing that it's hot, and it burnt my hand.
I don't even know what to. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say to that at all.
You'd say, like, I'm just telling you that could happen. Their mission was to get inside that house and rob them and possibly kill Kevin. So I don't think they're.
And they were not going to look at anything while they were doing it.
They were just gonna. I mean,
tunnel vision.
I guess you just got a flaming red hot doorknob.
They were in the zone.
I've never opened the stove while hot and reached in there without something to protect my hands from getting burnt. So I don't know, Russ. I don't know what to tell you.
I put 2 oven mitts on because I know I'm a dumbass, and I'm gonna reach for something hot with my other hand.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know who you are, Russ. I thought I knew you. I don't know.
I'm the guy that reaches into a hot stove to grab something, not thinking about it.
Learn something new every day.
But you know what, though? My kids want chicken nuggets. Sometimes you got to make a sacrifice to make sure they get chicken nuggets.
Scars for life.
Luke, what do you have as your favorite scene of Home Alone? And we'll just end the roast session of me right now opening up hot stove.
Hey, you roasted me about fun factless Jen, so hey, I don't know what to tell you, man. Don't dish it out if you can't take it.
I was just playing devil's advocate, so.
Oh, okay.
You actually didn't come with any fun facts at all.
I know. I didn't. I admit it.
We're being rude. Let's not bicker.
It's fun banter.
Luke, I apologize for us interrupting you.
Sorry, Luke.
No, it's fine. I have 2, kinda. The first one is probably my favorite scene in the entire movie, is where Kevin's remembering all the mean things that people say to him, and they reshot that stuff so it sounds meaner.
Yeah.
It's amazing. It cracks me up every time, where instead of Uncle Frank saying, like, look what you did, you little jerk, it's like, look what you did, you little jerk. Love it. So everything is misconstrued to this kid in his head, and they filmed it to put little head bubbles over him. And my second favorite is just whenever Harry or Marv is screaming. Those guys just don't. Those guys can sell a scream, and I love it.
Well, I was reading when I was researching this that they were a little bit difficult to work with, because like I think they felt that they were above the material. And I think they were looking at this as like a paycheck movie, and they kind of overacted on purpose.
Joke's on them.
Yeah,
because it's amazing. I love it so much.
I know for me, I have honorable mention was the whole montage where Kevin is setting up the traps in the house. Because you know me, I've
You
mentioned
love
this
a
a time or two. I
montage.
do love a montage.
You love a montage. We know.
And then like even where like they're running through the house and like just basically like I don't understand how they survived most of this.
Yeah.
No.
That was enough to kill like 3 people.
I
4
did
people.
read that when Harry opens the door and the torches his head,
Oh, shit,
that would have
yeah.
killed him instantly.
Really?
Yeah, it would have
Oh.
done something. Would have like I think it would have melted the skull.
Oh,
And,
makes sense.
Yeah,
Well, I would think he slips and like does a backflip off those steps and lands on
Right.
like his upper spine.
Right. You would think he would have
I'm like,
fractured
"Whoa."
his, but in between your neck and your head. You would have thought he would have split that in 2, and then you're done. You can't get oxygen, so I don't know. It's
I am actually
crazy.
amazed that Marv and Harry were even able to do anything in Home Alone 2 because I would have suspected they both would have had CTE really bad.
yeah, that too. But they go about it
Yeah,
all
they're
over
like,
again.
they're the early case studies for the NFL. Like, hey, you remember those 2 guys in Chicago that tried to kill the kid that's Home Alone? They don't have
man.
faith. We'll just use that for research.
The whole second movie didn't even happen. It was just like a figment of they're like just seeing ghosts like, in the
It's-
mental hospital.
Yeah, they're so doped up, they're asleep, and it's just them like dreaming.
I think you guys might have a good idea for a screenplay here. I don't know.
It's Home Alone 3, and actually that sounds like a much better movie than any of the sequels that they've done.
I completely agree with that.
Which they done what they did 2, and then they did that new one that's on Disney Plus now.
I thought they had a
Well,
3 though,
there's
didn't?
like 3 and there's 3 and 4.
With the same kid. I mean, not Macaulay Culkin, of course, but there was another kid after him, and I think he was in 3 and 4. And then after that, it was just direct to DVD,
Well,
right?
3 and 4 were direct to DVD.
Oh, were they? Oh, okay.
On this show, we don't recognize those movies.
Oh, what do you call it? You just skip them, or?
They don't exist.
Oh, they don't exist. Okay. Got
Wasn't
it.
Scarlett Johansson in one of those?
I think she was.
Was she?
She was like a sister. Yeah.
Oh, Lord. And the directed, the doesn't exist.
In 3
Thereafter.
or 4. I don't remember.
It's if this were the Spider-Verse, those would be in that other realm.
Okay, so Home Alone, Spider-Verse. Okay.
Yeah, something like that.
Got it.
Crossover movie event of 2024.
It's a collab.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then they have a new one on Disney Plus called Home Sweet Home Alone.
What? When the hell did that
When I
come
was
out?
trying to look up stuff for the Home Alone, like that movie kept coming up, and I guess.
Oh yeah, it just came out.
Yeah. We also don't acknowledge that. I heard that movie is fucking awful too.
Home Sweet Home. It sounds like something on the Hallmark Channel or a Lifetime movie.
It's a Hallmark Christmas movie title.
Oh.
They
Yeah,
probably
he-
paid him like
he-
$5,000 to get it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and the kid like falls in love with a ghost or something. It's
Oh, God.
a Christmas ghost.
Yeah.
It's a whole thing.
Yeah, if it was Lifetime, it would be like a Christmas murder movie.
So good.
Where the parents
Yeah,
go
yeah,
missing
the-
and then the kid's home alone.
It's like a Lifetime, A Christmas Carol. That's kind of what I'm
Yeah, he's like-
envisioning right now.
He's like fighting a Christmas ghost in that one.
Fighting a Christmas ghost is trying to break into his house.
Oh my goodness.
My favorite scene in the movie, though, is when Kevin orders the pizza. And I think
That's
that
good.
anybody that was around this, that seen this movie when it came out, I know I did. I at least wanted to do this once when he orders the pizza and he plays the scene in Angels with Filthy Souls and he scares the shit out of the pizza delivery
That's
driver.
great. That is great. Because this kid, that he falls for that. Now I want pizza. So sitting here talking about pizza might.
But I can't tell you how many times that my
DoorDash.
brother and I thought of doing that, like ordering a pizza when my mom was at work, and it's like playing that scene in the movie.
Do you think that whomever would have fallen for that,
No,
being
I
where
lived
we
in
live?
I lived in the unsavory part of town. They probably would have, the guy like, pizza delivery driver probably would have called our bluff and threatened to fight me and my brother.
Oh, I can see that.
But yeah, that's my favorite scene in the movie. That's the movie. Like, that scene is just as funny as the first time I seen it. It's still funny today. So that's gonna be my favorite scene in the movie.
Cool. I got a heartbreaker for you, Russ. That scene's gonna come back up for me a little later.
Oh, is it? In a good way or a bad way?
Not the way you're gonna like.
Well, hey, that's different strokes for different folks. What are we going to nominate as the best scene in the movie? I'm okay giving it to like the whole sequence where Marv and Harry are just getting fucking the dog shit kicked out of them in Kevin's house.
Man, I like the montage of him setting stuff up. It's so good. It's so fast and it's so good.
Yeah.
And it makes no sense. I remember I was watching it today to kind of refresh, and when he's got that hose and he's like shooting it straight down, I'm like, man, the insulation on that door is fucking spectacular. Because later Marv opens it and that ice line stops at the door frame. I'm like, wow, that's a good build.
And bonus points when he prepares the macaroni and cheese dish for a microwave macaroni and cheese dish. That thing was a fucking 10.
That was a feast, and it was like piled up. It was beautiful.
A golden yellow. Like every time I see it, I was like, "Fuck that! I want some mac and cheese."
Yeah, it ruined mac and cheese for me for a good period of time. I was like, it never looked like that.
No, nothing's ever gonna top that. Velveeta, eat your fucking heart out. Stouffer's has your number. Yeah.
Stop, Russell. You're making me hungry.
Movie food is amazing. I love fake ass movie food so much. It looks so fake, but it looks so good.
That's like the pizza, not in this Home Alone, but the Home Alone 2, when the butler, the concierge, doorman, whatnot, when he opens it and it's just that steam just rises up, and it's like the most perfect looking cheese pizza you've ever seen in your entire life, and nothing in real life even compares to it.
And it's mostly like glue.
Right. That's why it doesn't move when he opens the box. It's just like frozen. It's like helmet hair in a box.
Yeah, when I look it up, like I bet now like that macaroni and cheese is probably like just doused in fucking like clear nail polish to give it that sheen.
Yep. Like spraying it.
It's like they had people calling us out like, son, don't eat this, please. We still have 2 weeks of filming to go. We don't.
I know it looks good. I know it looks good. Don't eat it.
Listen, pal, we will get you an actual Stouffer's macaroni and cheese. Just don't touch it. All right, is that what we're going with? Is the montage?
I would agree with that for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, it gets me pretty fired up. Like I actually invite some. Hey, you know what? Maybe start some shit with the neighbors around here. Try to get them to get in our house and have a pet can come flying out.
Oh, man.
You fucked with the wrong house, Grandpa. All right. So the montage where he sets up all the booby traps is the winner of the best scene in the movie.
Yeah. Agreed.
Agreed? Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
The I don't like sand, it's coarse, and it's rough scene for the award for the worst scene in the movie.
I don't like sand. It's coarse and rough and irritating, and it gets everywhere.
So, I know, Luke, I have a feeling that you're going to nominate something. Shit all over my parade, so go right ahead.
Maybe it's just through the eyes of adulthood, but that whole scene where he fucks with that poor pizza kid drives me crazy. It's like, just, that dude doesn't care if you're a little kid. As long as you got the money for the pizza, just give him the money for the pizza. He's not going to call the cops because a kid gave him money for pizza and took the pizza. Like, that's the only scene in that. And it was a stretch. Because I was like, Russ is going to ask me if there's a scene I think doesn't belong in this movie. That's the only thing I could think of. It's hilarious, but unnecessary. And I don't need it.
Well, I think that scene shows you how petty a 9-10-year-old kid is, because I don't think he would have played the movie, but then the pizza delivery driver had to say like something about the tip that Kevin left him. And let's be real, Kevin's
Well,
not.
But he was already playing the movie, and then he gave him a 20-cent tip. I'd fucking give him some shit too. That's bullshit. That's a bullshit tip. I'd say something under my breath.
Being the parents of a 10-year-old kid,
Fair.
If our son was left home alone, which anybody listening, my wife and I have never left our children home alone. No need to call Child Protective Services on us. Kids are always looked after. But I'm sure if that situation were to arise and my son heard a pizza delivery driver like mouth off to him, I know for a fact our son would fucking do that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I just ordered food today, and I said, I'm not going to answer the door. I'm just gonna let him leave it. So I don't know. It might be a stretch.
Well, that's the difference between you and I, is the fact that you seem to be a mature adult, whereas I'm a 43-year-old man with the mentality of a 13-year-old, and I find that hysterical. And actually, I would consider doing that same prank to this day.
It'd be funnier. It'd be funnier to do it now as an adult. I don't know.
Oh, we should totally do that tomorrow. Let's order food and do that.
What?
But you got to play Angels with Filthy Wings. Like, it's got to be that exact thing.
Oh no, dude, that's what it would be.
Well, I'll have to change change my DoorDash to knock at my door instead of leave at the door, because I have it set as leave at the door.
Well, maybe we'll go to.
Oh, they still knock on my door.
Oh, do they? Oh.
Oh yeah.
No, I'm like
dog crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, pizza places, like we have it delivered. They just leave it on our the chairs we have on the front porch, and they just leave it. Like I ordered pizza for the kids over the summer, and I would have never known the pizza was there if I didn't have to take the dog out. It was like a good 10, 15 minutes, and I was like, "Oh shit, the pizza's here!" No alert, no tap. You could just tap.
That's why you do DoorDash. You get like a text message when they drop it off. They send you a picture. They send you all kinds of good things.
Pizza Hut don't roll like that. It's like, fuck, don't get it when I get it.
I don't even think Pizza Hut delivers around here, does it?
They do.
Oh, they do? Oh, okay.
They don't even get out of the car. They just chuck it from the driver's side window.
Yeah,
Here you go. It's like a newspaper.
They pull a Walter White.
Enjoy
from
you,
Breaking
pig.
Bad.
Oh, man.
Jen, do you have anything for like the worst scene of the movie?
Actually, I do.
Oh,
Look at this. No fun facts, but I do have this. So when Kevin McCallister goes into the general store, whatever it is, he's feeling like a big man. He needs to get a couple things to survive while his parents are gone. He's asking the lady who's, I don't know, she looks like a elderly librarian, asking her about the toothbrush, if it's like approved by the ADA, and there's like 4 or 5 other different questions that he asked about this damn toothbrush. No kid is going to do that. Like, come on. Like, he's just trying to act like this big man. And I just didn't really, I don't know. I don't really feel like it did anything for the movie. It was just kind of like, I don't know.
That was my second choice.
Was it?
Because why did he need a new toothbrush?
Right. It's like the most, that too.
Man, this thing's getting a little soft all of a sudden.
Right.
Like, what? Why did he need to go buy a new toothbrush and then give that poor lady shit?
Right. She's trying to close up for the holidays. She don't care if it's ADA approved or not. Who gives a fuck?
Oh, yeah, where he, like, she has the radio for the. That's the scene where he like ends up like they think he stole something.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, and don't leave that scene out. I mean,
shoplifter.
that was okay. That part was fine. But yeah, and then she's like, Jimmy, do you know if this is ADA approved? He's like a stock boy. He's like 15. Like, he's gonna fucking know. Come on.
If he's one of those kids who like has aspirations of being like a shift lead or like a key holder at that store.
Oh God. I
Probably
know.
like her grandson.
Yeah. I'm okay with that, cutting that scene out. I mean, it's fine for what it is, but it doesn't really add to the movie at all.
Right. It's just kind of like, there's just no point.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Kevin McCallister, awful lucky that Tommy Lee Jones wasn't like around there. If Sam Gerard.
Oh, that dude.
busting
That
him
dude's
in no
petty.
time. Busting
He would
him
have
in no-
chased him for hours
giving a big fucking
of movie
speech.
time.
Yeah. See, we just created a second crossover. Home Alone meets The Fugitive.
I know, another collab. Look at that.
All right. I'm okay with giving it to that. I mean, like I said, that seems okay, but it doesn't really add.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
sorry. I'm in agreement.
okay. Agreement?
Agreement.
Agreed?
Agreed.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. The King Kong and Got Shit on Me award for the best line or quote of the movie.
King Kong ain't got shit on me!
Luke, what do you present as your nominee?
It is the line that I probably say a lot in my day-to-day life, and it's "Park on it, Frank. We have cash." Whenever there's a bill, like when a bill that's due and we've got it, it's always "Park on it, Frank. We've got cash." Because it cracks me up every time in that movie, and it's really stuck with me.
I think you and I, when you and I used to work together, we quoted this movie quite often. Like when somebody would fuck something up at work. I know for a fact you said, "Look what you did, you little jerk."
Mm-hmm. Yep. Absolutely.
And
I'd say it the mean way.
With the elongated head.
Kevin's memory.
The really long head.
Big jerk.
And we've also said, like, we've told coworkers, like, not to pick on him. We never said this to Lucas, but, like, as an example, Lucas, your girlfriend, woof.
Yeah.
We never said that to Lucas, but we've said that to other.
Oh.
I just want to use Lucas as an example, as a point of reference, because people know Lucas.
Oh, okay. I gotcha.
And they know he abandoned us tonight.
Better things to do.
That is a good one, and that actually, the more I think about it, it still cracks me up, because Frank is an absolute fucking cheapskate.
God, that dude fucking sucks so much.
He's
like, they're going through a nightmare, and he's like walking around in France with like shrimp cocktail. I'm like, God, Frank, you suck. You suck.
Or at the beginning of the movie when he's like, it's $100 and whatever dollars. Like, oh, it's my brother-in-law's house. He'll get it. Or my brother's house, or whoever he is.
I knew that character immediately after that line. I'm like, yep, Frank's a piece of shit.
Yeah. Fuck you, Frank.
You know,
He's trying to steal silver off the plane.
Kelsey Grammer actually was considered for the role of Uncle Frank, too.
Oh, was he really?
Oh, no,
So who is
I
the
might have been
actor
okay
that
with that?
who plays him though?
I have only seen that guy as Uncle Frank. I've
That's
never seen
it?
him in anything else. I'm sure
Okay, I
he's-
was gonna say he didn't look familiar to me like I've seen him in anything
He
else.
could be
So
an esteemed actor of stage and screen, but I only know him as Uncle Frank. That's a very good one. Jen, what do you have as your nominee?
what is it? Get out of here, you filthy animal. Is that how that goes?
Keep the change.
Keep the change, you filthy animal. Shit. I had it all wrong, and it's supposed to be my favorite. I really like that line, though. That's probably my fave.
No, it's a good one.
Yeah, that's what I have as my nominee too. I've used that countless times when our son has a habit of if we carry cash and we pay with cash, he always wants the change, and usually we give it to him. He's like, I just
Moocher.
I don't.
Damn moocher.
Yeah, he's a fucking real bum. I love him though, but yeah, he's a real bum.
Kids are bums. They just want you to hand them money like you're just growing it out in a tree, backyard.
Yeah.
Whenever I give him like my loose change, I always say that to him, like, keep the change, you filthy animal. And like, I love the fact that he knows exactly what I'm talking about.
Yep.
This movie's so full of lines that are just, you can just pop them into your everyday vernacular, and you'll look a little crazy, but it's I love it. I say I do have one more that makes me laugh every time.
Okay,
if you'll indulge me. When in the midst of the booby trappings of Harry and Marv, when they finally both make it into the house, and I believe Harry says to Marv, "Is like, what the hell did you take your shoes off?" I don't know why. cracks me up every time.
I also like the line, I'm up here, you horse's ass.
He's gonna call the cops from a treehouse. I don't know. This movie is endlessly quotable. I love it.
So what are we giving it to?
I like Keep the Change, You Filthy Animal. That's my
I
favorite.
think that one, that's probably the line.
I think you're right.
That's the one that I know like most from this movie.
Right.
I thought about nominating like when Catherine O'Hara screams Kevin, because that's pretty iconic too. But nah, it's got to be Keep the Change, You Filthy Animal.
Yeah, I mean, the only other like super iconic line from that, in my opinion, is "That's it. I forgot to close the garage doors. That's it." But I think no, I think Keep the Change, You Filthy Animal is Home Alone to a T.
Yeah. All right. Wow, this is pretty awesome. We're agreeing on everything.
I know. How about that?
It's a lot different than our critically panned Midnight Run episode last week, where it was just very combative. And I think people were threatened after that episode. And that's going to be going forward the critically panned Midnight Run episode.
It got tense there a couple times.
It did. I seen Lucas's fist clenching. The McLovin Award for the Best Supporting Performance.
I am McLovin.
I will let Jen. Who would be your nominee for the best, the bit player, someone that's not in the movie that much? Just for argument's sake, I considered Joe Pesci and Daniel Stern for a minute because they're really not in the movie that much.
True.
But the fact that the last 25 minutes of the movie, it's pretty much Macaulay Culkin and those two. I couldn't nominate them for that reason.
For me, I think it would be Uncle Frank. I mean, he's only in there, 5-10 minutes, maybe. I mean, I'm just kind of thinking of a couple scenes that he's in. And even in the scenes that he's in, it's like, a minute or two. But he just he just makes such an impact in every part of the movie that he has to do with it. And you just look at him like, God, he's a fucking dick. Like, and it's not, and he doesn't even have to really even say anything. It's just his body language. And you can just tell he's just a mooch. He's like this grumpy, just all about himself. And he just screw what everybody else is doing. I don't know. I just love his character.
No, it's so good.
That's a good point. I mean, like Luke said that the minute he comes on screen, he just opens up his mouth and he's like, he knows he's a fucking piece of shit.
Right, exactly.
That's fucking impact right there.
It's like,
I hate Uncle Frank.
There's that Uncle Frank again. He's coming to dinner. Shit. But you don't want him to come to dinner, but then you want to see like what kind of antics he's up to. Is he already drunk when he gets there? Is he going to put leftovers in his pockets to take home? You just don't know what's going to happen because he's just such a fuck up.
That's a good one. I didn't even think about that when I was considering my nominees.
You didn't?
I didn't.
I actually figured you were going to say Uncle Frank, honestly.
No.
I
feel fucking pretty shitty about it. Like, man, I should have. But
I'm not prepared. Who knew?
No, that was well thought out.
Well, thank you.
That is if this were a baseball game and you struck out 3 times and your 4th time up the plate, you just hit a fucking grand slam and win the game.
Boom. That's awesome.
That was awesome. That's coming through in the clutch.
Hey, I do what I can.
You're like a hotter version of Steph Curry. Luke, who's your nominee for the McLovin?
I'd say this was a tough one because I was in the same spot as you. I love Catherine O'Hara in this movie, but I think she's just not quite. She's not a bit player. She's
the second lead.
Yeah, she's amazing, but so I defaulted to the late great John Hurd. I don't think he's in it quite enough.
Yeah, you can nominate him.
But thank you. Thank you, Your Honor. While his kid's home alone, his wife is going nuts not in a bad way, doing absolutely everything she can to get home. He's holding this family together and just saying awesome stuff like, my new fish hooks, and here's your voltage adapter. Like, he's just like, he's such an awesome Midwestern dad. Like, he's got that energy to him, and it's very comforting to me. So, like, and when they come home right after Catherine O'Hara goes through all this shit to get home, and they walk in the door like right after her, and he's not like, he's just like, yeah, we took the flight you didn't want to take. I got all the rest of the family. We're here.
Yeah.
Took care of it. I'm like, I don't know. Something very comforting about that whole portrayal. And I'm sad that he died.
That's right. He did die a few years ago.
Yeah, a while ago.
Yeah. Damn. I think he wasn't even that old, was he? He was like in his 60s, wasn't he?
Probably.
No, I think he had like a heart attack or something.
Oh, wow. R.I.P. John Hurd.
Yep. Big ups.
For me, that's another excellent choice. I was going to say John Candy. He leaves a pretty lasting impression in this movie. Actually, that band he's in, like, I despise polka music, but you know what? I can fucking get down to the Kenosha Kickers. I'll rock some Kenosha Kickers one day.
I'd go see him. Why not?
I went to Whole Foods this weekend, and one of the local breweries has a brew called the Kenosha Kickers, and I was like,
What?
We're going to buy that.
Oh, dude.
I didn't buy it.
That's too cool.
But I will next time.
We have to hunt that down.
For sure.
And plus, like, he's the catalyst to get Kevin's mom home. Plus, it's John Candy. I mean, that guy fucking rocks.
Nope.
But my nominee is, I had to look his name up because I've seen him in a bunch of stuff. Never knew his name. I will always know him as Johnny Ralph Foodie. He plays Johnny in the Angels with Filthy Souls movie. That guy's fucking throwing 100. Like, that guy is just, he's making his minute and a half of screen time count.
No, that wins. You win. You're right.
He's so awesome in that minute and a half that they's like, you know what? We need to bring that dude back. So they brought him back for the sequel, Angels with Even Filthier Souls, and it's just as awesome.
No, that's...
So
God.
I looked up Kenosha Kickers beer, and apparently it's by Sonder Brewing, and it's an ale with a dry apple kick, notes of cinnamon and brown sugar glaze, and a clean finish. So now I feel like I really need to try that.
See, this is what we bring to this show. Not only do you get to hear us shoot the shit about the movies that we love, you may get a couple little fun facts you can pull out at a cocktail party.
Yeah.
We also will
so
describe what ingredients are in craft beers.
Hey.
The Craft Beer Movie Show. New name going forward.
I could talk about a craft beer movie show for a while.
All right.
For sure.
New format coming first of the year, maybe.
Look out.
Maybe a sponsorship. Maybe they would like to sponsor us.
That would be kick
Yeah.
ass.
Heck yeah. Free beer. Mm-hmm.
So are we giving it to Ralph Foodie?
For sure.
Okay. Johnny?
Yeah, it's pretty... I mean, yeah, you're right. It was so good, they're like, we're going to work this into the next one.
Yeah. No need to have that movie at all in the second one, but fuck, they made it work. All right. Ralph Foodie, congratulations on your award. I don't know if he's alive or dead. I just had to look up his name.
Maybe you should get him a trophy.
I have thought about, we've talked about doing this for like the person that wins the movie, sending them like the Gold Star Award you used to get as a kid.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Maybe we can do something like that with the McLovin. I'm not getting a bunch of McLovin statues made. We don't make that kind of money on this show.
No.
I'm not trying to go to the poor house.
No. I'm already on my way there.
Yeah. The Eric Stoltz Award for the performer that you would recast. We kind of decided to do away with this movie, but since I didn't warn you ahead of time, if there's anybody you would feel that you would replace with somebody else, feel free to let it loose.
No. Nope.
Yeah.
Not a single one in this movie. This movie is pretty. I don't know. I don't like to deal with absolutes because but I feel like this movie is like perfectly cast. Like everybody is great, and I don't know. There's nobody. I don't think there's anybody that's dragging the production down on this one.
Yeah, I agree. There's nobody I'd really recast for this. Do you?
Nah, nobody that I can really think of either.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah, I think that award's gonna go bye-bye. We might bring it back on occasion. We might bring it back for the Turkey Day extravaganza. It's coming up soon.
Yeah, I'd bring it back if there's like a real easy answer. You know what I mean?
Yeah. We should save that for the Back to the Future episode that we'll do at some point where like we'll recast Eric Stoltz with Michael J. Fox.
Perfect.
Yeah. All right. The unsolved mysteries of the movie.
Join me. Perhaps you may be able to help solve a mystery.
I have two. The first one is I would like to know what the McCallisters do for a living. Because they're fucking loaded. Do you guys have any ideas? I have a theory.
I have no clue what they do. And I know that I think the dad's brother is doing pretty good. He's the one in France, right? But man, they're buying tickets from, I don't know who's paying for all this stuff. It's crazy. And they live in a really nice house in Chicago, right?
Yeah, Chicago suburbs.
Man. And the adults are flying first class, and they fuck the kids off in the economy.
They're just doing whatever, sitting wherever, walking around.
I'm sure one of them's an architect or something. That was pretty hip in the 90s to say your parents were. I don't know.
Or like a banker, like a Wall Street. Well, I mean, I know it's Chicago, but like a Wall Street, like a mortgage or a hedge fund person or something like that, maybe. And then Catherine O'Hara, she looks like she might be maybe like a lawyer.
Well, I'm wondering. I seen like those mannequins, and like they have like the measuring tape. So it makes me wonder if she doesn't do something in clothing.
Oh, like a fashion designer or something like that, or a CEO of a clothing brand, maybe. Yeah, I could see that.
My theory leads into my second question, and this will go back. I'll circle back around the first question.
Okay.
Did the McCallisters ever face criminal charges for leaving Kevin by himself?
I mean, they made the cops very aware of it.
Yeah.
Maybe back then, no, but I would say today, yeah. If that makes sense. Like back then, it was just so innocent and like, oh, nothing would have happened. They're in a good neighborhood, blah, blah, blah. It's fine. The parents didn't mean to. But nowadays, I just don't think that would be taken as lightly.
No, they would have gotten like ass blasted on TikTok. Like immediately.
Exactly. Social media is too much of a thing now. You know, like things get out too quickly, so it would be much more serious.
My theory, since they obviously avoided criminal charges because they were able to go to New York, part 2, I think the McCallisters are in the mob.
Oh, well, they do got big coats, so
they have.
I don't know if that's. I don't think that's a standard, but I mean, they have coats like I think mob people would wear.
Yeah, they're well-to-do.
True.
I mean, like I said, yeah, if that would have been us back in the 90s, we would have gone to jail for sure. I don't know, it's really, I wish I had gotten a little bit of a glimpse. I mean, France, for us, there's no way we could afford going to France without saving up for a little while.
Right.
It was like, oh, fuck it, we're just going to go to France. Cheap-ass Uncle Frank and his freeloading wife. We'll get them first-class seats, too.
Hey, come on. Hey, Aunt Bethany seemed like a really nice lady.
she is a saint for putting up with Frank's shit. I'm
True.
guessing they've been married for a while. And how many fucking kids were in there? Like 12?
Oh my God, so many kids. I
I
would
was
run
trying
away.
to think of I was trying to think of what she says, like 6 boys, 3 girls, 2 drivers.
Well, that's another thing, too.
It's
like,
a lot.
You obviously know what Peter and Kate, one of their hobbies is. They've got that many kids. That's an expensive trip. All I'm saying is, like, I'm wondering if there's some kind of seedy underbelly in the McCallister household.
Maybe Peter McCallister is a pimp.
No, John Hurd's too classy for that
Well,
line of work. However,
Well,
mob accountant, I could totally see that.
He could be a mob accountant. I think they've only got 4 kids, because I think it's Kevin, Buzz, Peter, the kid from Pete and Pete, and like one of the girls, or Megan,
the judo champion.
So the judo champion, yes.
Yeah, that
and the rest
Harry
are like
thankful they didn't run into that buzzsaw.
Yeah, and all the rest of those kids are cousins, even though the other one's a Culkin, and looks exactly like Kevin.
Is that the Culkin that's in like Succession and?
I think it's
Scott Pilgrim?
I think it's Rory, isn't it? Is it Rory?
I don't know.
Is it Kiernan?
I can't
okay.
keep these Culkins straight.
There's a lot of them.
I don't know.
5 or 6.
All I know is if he has too much Pepsi, he's gonna pee the bed.
Yeah.
Fuller, is that his name? Fuller.
Go easy on the Pepsi. See, there's so many lines.
Well, there's another mystery for you. Did Fuller end up pissing the bed that morning?
Probably. I mean, it alluded to that for
Had
sure.
to lug his ass to the airport smelling like that.
Yeah, it makes you wonder if he actually did pee the bed, if he had time to get a shower. Probably not. So yeah, it's
like, ooh, this is gonna be a long plane ride, guys.
Right. However long it takes to fly to France, I'm sure it's a while.
All right.
Did you guys ever notice that in that big? This might be old news, but in like the big milk spill scene when they're like cleaning up, that they throw Kevin's ticket into the trash with all that shit.
Yeah.
Because I always wondered how they missed him, and I'm like, those motherfuckers thought of it. Those motherfuckers thought of it. And yeah, when they're cleaning up, you see it for a split second in the trash can with all the napkins, a ticket.
Yep, and it had his name written on it too.
Oh, it's crazy.
Yeah. Do you guys have any mysteries that?
Mine that I always wondered was, what did they do for a living? Because their house was just phenomenal.
Well, we already saw that Peter's a mob accountant.
Oh, okay. Well, it's a mob accountant. I mean, that's the thing. Another thing I always wonder too is the wet bandits, how they would go in and turn the water on and whatnot. And then it was like 2 or 3 days later, but there was only like a foot of water on the floor. You would think if water was running 24 hours a day for 2 or 3 days, wouldn't there be more than a foot of water on the floor?
I don't know. I mean, it depends.
Maybe
we've got. I'll say we've got like drainage holes in our basement.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's true. I would just think
stretching here.
if it was like say one level or whatnot, and you had pretty good insulation, you would just think there would be more than a foot of water on the floor. That's all. That's one of the things I always wondered, because that just logistically or whatnot, it just didn't make sense to me. Like that, it just didn't make sense. So I wondered that too.
Water doesn't make a lot of sense in this movie.
True.
It does whatever you want it to do.
True.
I feel bad for the people that they did that to, because they get fucked twice. Their shit gets stolen.
Right.
And then the next month they're going to have this insanely high water bill.
That, and they got to file a claim with the insurance company. That's a lot of damage.
It's like, goddamn,
they got mold and shit. Jeez.
I just got the damn rumpus room finished, and now it's fucking got all this water damage.
Yep.
My rumpus room is destroyed.
My pinball machines.
My rumpus room. Oh, my
damn
goodness.
I just bought this KISS pinball machine.
That's a word I haven't heard in a long time.
I don't even know what it is, but it sounds funny.
Rumpus is just a great word. It's a fun word.
It's better than man cave.
Yeah.
That sounds like a bro dude term.
Let's
go down to the man cave.
I think when we get a house in the basement, that's what we're going to call that the rumpus room.
I'm
No,
here.
that's a good call.
I'm here for it. Can we do a sunken living room? They're so groovy. They're from like the 70s. Just Google it. It's fun.
I know what they are. Only if we get these obnoxiously large oil paintings of you and I to put in the.
Nah,
Oh,
I do better than.
I want one. Where
Let's
They're
do.
gonna be classy.
And I'm petting a tiger.
Okay. I just finished watching Tiger King season 2,
And
so I could get down with a tiger.
And you will be riding a unicorn.
Okay.
That has this trail of rainbows behind it.
Okay. I'm envisioning it, and I could totally see that.
And gang,
It's
if you're
doable.
listening to that, I'm not on drugs. That just popped in my head a second ago.
It's just-
it sounded fucking cool.
It's just being high on life.
All right. Luke, did you have any unsolved mysteries?
Just how salt turns bodies into mummies. That's my only.
That's just
That's the only thing.
That's just a fucking kid that doesn't know what he's talking about. It's just fucking with a younger kid. I think we've all done that at a time or two.
No,
shit like
that's
makes no sense at all. And you know, like, I'm gonna fuck with this kid. I used to do it at high school all the time.
Yeah.
We used to tell people at my high school that the upstairs, our high school had a dome. We used to tell them there was a swimming pool up there, and I will sell you my membership for $10. We made so much money my junior and senior year.
It's like, I think that's an urban legend in a lot of high schools, because where I went to high school, they said that there was a pool on the second floor. There was no second floor. It was an attic. So I don't know. I feel like that's an urban legend with a lot of schools, like the swimming pools wherever kind of a thing.
Hey, you know what? All I gotta say is don't be fucking stupid.
Well, that too.
Yeah. All right. Well, yeah, I can't answer the mummies and so on. I'm just saying it's just a Buzz is a fucking asshole anyways, which actually I kind of Buzz is kind of has a special place in my heart a little bit. Like, he's a jerk. But he's like that jerk, like, you know, I can see myself being friends with him.
He seems all right deep down.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't answer the mummies and salt question. I'm not a scientist.
Well, goddamn it.
I only play one on TV.
Why did I come here? It's the only question I needed answered.
I camaraderie.
It's all right. I'll watch that documentary with Brendan Fraser. He'll
yeah.
I'll figure it out.
Yeah, that's a really good one. Arnold Vosloo will answer your questions for you.
Okay.
The last award we got is the I'm the King of the World for who wins this movie for you?
I'm the King of the World!
Jen, I will start off with you.
That's going to be Joe Pesci and Daniel Stern. So it's
really?
a tie for me. Oh, absolutely. I mean, them together, they could not have cast any two better duo than those two. Like, if I had to pick, we were discussing earlier, could we potentially see somebody who could have been replaced? Those out of anyone else are the two that I could not have seen replaced in this movie. Like, it's kind of like, for me, like Dan Aykroyd and John Candy and the movies that they were in like the 80s and the 90s, and even Steve Martin and John Candy together. Some duos just go so well together that in some aspects, I think of them in Home Alone. It was almost like you weren't even watching a movie. You could actually, if they were real life burglars or whatnot, that's who they would be. It was almost, at some instances, you were just like watching like a live theater production because they just meshed so well together. And I just think everything that they did in that movie, especially, you know, what Luke, you mentioned the screaming, you know, them screaming and just the things that they fell for, and just how Joe Pesci would constantly get on Daniel Stern because Joe Pesci was the brains of the operation, if that's what you want to call it. They just, I don't know, in a lot of ways, yeah, Kevin McCallister's the star or whatnot, but those two, without them, I don't know. I like them better than Kevin McCallister, so.
I should have had you
phenomenal.
on the Midnight Run episode last week. You could have
Why?
The chemistry between De Niro and Grodin.
Oh, okay. Well,
they worked well together. But
they worked so well together in that movie too.
But once again, that's why that show has been critically panned. The critically panned Midnight Run episode, which you can find now on Apple or Spotify or wherever you get podcasts. Luke, who wins your King of the World award?
Ooh, well, I really like Jen's answer. That was really nice. That was top notch.
Thank you.
I'm going to go against the grain because I don't want to. Macaulay Culkin's fucking awesome in this movie, but I really, really gravitate towards Catherine O'Hara in this movie because
dude, she's really good in this too.
Yeah, I agree.
She plays such a good bad mom. I don't know. I don't want to say she's a good mom. She left her fucking kid in an attic in a hide-a-bed with Fuller. Well, but they got Fuller. But I don't know, just her whole little side adventure of just hustling to get home.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she's given up. She's like, you want the earrings? I got these frequent flyer miles, whatever you want. And she's just flying all over the United States and all over Europe.
She didn't even know where she was. What city am I in? She had no clue.
I loved it because it's so relatable because she only cared about doing everything she could. Like, it didn't matter if it was the fastest way or the best way. She was just going to keep working. She was going to not rest until she was home with Kevin. And I don't know. That was very relatable because it's like she can't slow down or she's going to lose her mind. So she's going to go nuts. And yeah, it took as long as it would have for her to sit around in France and wait for a flight. But she couldn't do that because it would have felt like she was doing nothing. So I don't know. And plus she got that whole little side trip with the Kenosha Kickers, and she got to hear weird stories about this band who apparently travels a lot for the best polka band in the Midwest.
And
they're right in the back of a U-Haul.
They're going to like 20 cities in one state, kind of a travels, like my suspicion anyway, but yeah.
Exactly.
I think too, Catherine O'Hara, like I think it kicked off like, cause I remember her as a kid, there was always Saturday Night Live, and then like here where I lived at, on Friday nights at like 1 o'clock in the morning, you would get SCTV.
Yeah,
which was fucking awesome.
What is that?
It's like a sketch comedy show.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, it had
Second City was so good.
Yeah, it had John Candy was in it.
Oh, nice.
Catherine O'Hara, Joe Flaherty, who hey shooter, want to go to Sizzler get some grub?
Yeah, I know who he is.
Yeah, he was in that. Rick Moranis was in that too.
Oh, nice.
No, was Rick Moranis in Second City?
Yeah,
Dave
Rick
Thomas
Moranis was in there.
Okay. Yeah, and I remember her from that, and then I didn't really see her in anything until Home Alone. And then after Home Alone, she did all the Christopher Guest comedies, which are really, really good, like Best in Show, and Waiting for Guffman, stuff like that.
She's fantastic. But I love her. I love her in Schitt's Creek. Yeah. She's so good in Schitt's Creek. Her accent that she does. Oh my gosh, she's so good.
Yeah, it's just it kicked off the second wave of her career, and then she was in the Christopher Guest stuff for a while. That she kind of slowly faded off until Schitt's Creek made her a star again. But yeah, I've always liked her, and she's really good in this too.
And I loved her in Beetlejuice.
Oh yes, I forgot to.
She was fantastic in Beetlejuice.
Yeah,
so good.
Which you can also hear on Apple or Spotify by just looking for the Couch Potato Podcast.
Yeah, and I'm on that episode too.
Yeah, you're on that episode too. Nice plug.
Yeah. Hey, you know.
Click and subscribe, guys.
Game. Both excellent choices. I actually nominated Macaulay Culkin.
Well, somebody had to. I mean,
Yeah. He's in this movie, he's in 90% of this movie. He pretty much does all the heavy lifting. And he's really good in it.
I agree.
And like you said, you couldn't really picture anybody but Joe Pesci and Daniel Stern as Marvin Harry. I can't see anybody else being Kevin McCallister. I mean, I know kids, actors, you can find them. They're a dime a dozen. But I can't see anybody else playing this role at all. And we said earlier, we said earlier that the sequels, we don't acknowledge them because they suck so bad, because they're basically just rehashing Home Alone 1 again. Just
Right.
Different time frame. It's got to be Macaulay Culkin for me. Just because,
Yeah,
like,
but
go ahead.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but I'll watch Home Alone 2 like anytime because, yeah, he's so good. It's so hard to cast kids, and man, Macaulay Culkin is good.
Mm-hmm.
He was really good, and I argue he's still good. Like he's so weird, and I love him, but yeah, I don't know. He's incredible. He's so easy to watch, and he's so believable, and he's so relatable because he does all the stupid shit you wanted to do when you were a kid.
Right.
Have you seen Party Monster with him in it? Him and Seth Green?
It's been a while, but yeah, yeah.
I love that movie. He is so good in that movie. Like it kind of reminds me of, his childhood acting in a way because of the character he put in. Not trying to talk about that movie a whole lot, but anyhow, I can really see when you say he's believable, because he was believable as a child actor. And even as he got older into, a different type of actor, like he was in My Girl, I think, I don't remember the exact year, but it was maybe a couple years after Home Alone.
Mm-hmm.
And you kind of, was that it?
All he wants is his glasses.
And so you've seen him like progress. And then even as an adult now, it's like he's still the same actor, but he's not in a way just because he's grown. And it's again, almost like you're watching live theater production, because it's almost like, that's him. It's not a character he's playing. It's actually him. And that's just one of the things that makes him so great. So
I don't know if you guys are old enough to remember, but like after this movie, Macaulay Culkin was fucking huge.
Oh yeah. Commercials. Action figure? Or am I wrong?
Well, I'm sure they made an action figure, but
no,
like I'll put it to you like this. Michael Jackson did the black or white video, which Macaulay Culkin is
That's
in.
right.
They debuted that on.
They were super close. I forgot about that.
They
debuted
debuted that video on network television.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I watched it. It was crazy. It was like this big countdown, like premiere. It was.
Mm-hmm. Was it MTV?
It was
no, it was like
no.
ABC.
No, it was like.
Oh. Okay.
It was like local antenna TV.
Oh, the good old days.
It was an awesome video, too.
Good old days, for real.
He hosted Saturday Night Live after this.
He did?
Yeah.
When? When he was a kid?
I think it was 91 sometime.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, he was huge after this movie.
Crazy.
He did My Girl. I mean, he was headlining movies for a little while after
I
that.
loved him in My Girl. I love that movie so much.
He did Richie Rich.
Yes, I forgot about that. That's another
and
good
The
one.
Son.
Yeah,
Yes.
The Good Son.
The Good Son was that with Elijah Wood? Right? Yeah. Okay.
I know he wanted to stretch
That was
his
like
acting
his
chops and play like a fucking deviant child. Yeah, I think it's got to. I would nominate Macaulay Culkin just because like this movie doesn't work without him.
No, not at all.
I think me and Jen just didn't pick Macaulay Culkin because we thought everybody was going to pick Macaulay Culkin.
Oh yeah, I guess that makes sense.
I think we were trying to reach outside the box here.
But you know what? I appreciate it because we didn't really touch on Pesci and Stern that much. Which actually, Joe Pesci, hell of a 1990. He also was in Goodfellas.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Goodfellas and Home Alone. He won a Best Supporting Actor for Goodfellas.
He's such a good actor.
And he was in the top grossing movie of 1990.
Hell yeah.
Way to go, Joe. And then like Catherine O'Hara.
He had a good run.
Yeah. Then we didn't speak really that much about Catherine O'Hara. See, I'm glad you guys brought that up because they gave us a chance to even talk about him for a minute. So
Boom.
Good job, gang.
We did it.
Yay.
Yes.
Super duper.
Oh my God.
Do either one of you have anything you'd like to add before we wrap this bad boy up tonight?
No, I think it's just been a lot of fun.
It has been.
Yeah.
Luke, do you have anything you want to?
Just one thing. All the kids in that movie were assholes. And maybe that's just me being an adult, but
no, they were dicks.
They really talked to Joe Pesci, even though he was a fake police officer. They didn't know that. They really talk to him like an asshole. And I like
those
it.
kids are brats, all of them.
Yeah.
They all sucked.
I agree.
Lends further weight to my Peter was a mob accountant theory because, absent dad most of the time. It's probably the first time he's been home for more than an hour in months.
True.
Catherine O'Hara's got her hands tied with 8, 9 kids.
Oh, it's a lot. So many kids. I just
He did.
couldn't do
Yeah,
it.
he did seem exasperated. Like, man, these kids are fucking assholes.
Yeah. To some days I'm just
What
like,
happened?
Lord
Never
help me.
here.
But 9, 10, 11, how many ever? No, I wouldn't make it. I just have to run away and hide. I couldn't do it.
Yep.
No
I mean,
way.
if anybody ever wanted to know what Kate and Peter McCallister did for fun, first 5 minutes of that movie ought to answer that question for you.
Yeah. It's pretty obvious. Yep.
Well, guys, it was a lot of fun. I'm glad that you were able to join me for this tonight. I was looking forward to doing this, and just spending an hour and a half with you guys just made it even better.
Yeah, for sure.
I love talking
Agreed.
about Home Alone.
I knew when we decided for sure to do this, I had to have you on because him and I have this thing where we had this reputation for being movie snobs. We were told this when we worked together that we were just
You're
movie
definitely
snobs.
a movie snob.
But
For sure.
that being said, there was a lot of movies that I really liked that I was afraid to admit that I still enjoyed. But then this guy here would tell me oh yeah, I love Home Alone. Like, oh shit, I still like that movie too. I was okay to put that out there in the wild. Then of course you know how much I love the Fast and Furious movies.
Of course.
I was ashamed
Absolutely.
to admit that until
Why?
this guy right here
They're
told me he
great.
was a fan of them.
They're great.
Fucking A.
The
I have
best.
somebody that I can talk to about the Fast and Furious movies. As a matter of fact, I am planning on doing one of those very, very
Ooh,
soon.
very good. You should do a John
Yeah.
Waters movie sometime too.
We don't have people that listen to us as it is.
I could pick a mild one. I mean, there's
I have done
Serial
some-
Mom,
I have done some
I
of
would
the,
say you could do Serial Mom. That's
Yeah.
pretty approachable.
and you could do Hairspray.
I have done some of the
or
biggest,
Serial Mom.
I have done some of the biggest box office hits of all time, and nobody listens to them. So
Well, maybe you need to shake it up and do some Pink Flamingos, or no, I'm just kidding.
I
No,
have seen
totally kidding.
I have seen a couple of those movies with you, and there's no fucking way I'm venturing into that early
They're
John Waters
just
stuff.
so ridiculous and
No.
crazy.
No fucking way.
I love them.
Taking notes on those would be a nightmare.
I wouldn't even bother.
That's why you got me.
Here's this.
They're my faves.
We will start
Love
a
them.
offshoot of this podcast called The Unwatchables, featuring Jen, and her debut episode is going to be Pink Flamingos.
Why not?
All right. Well, guys, it was awesome. Glad I was able to spend an hour and a half shooting the shit about Home Alone with you guys. It's phenomenal. We'll have to do this again very, very soon.
I agree. It was a lot of fun. Thanks for having me on.
Well, you strong
Thanks a
armed me
lot.
out of the show.
Oh, is that what it was? Okay.
All right,
Gotcha.
well, until next week, we will talk at you guys later.
Bye.
And that's going to wrap up this week's episode of the Couch Potato Podcast. I do want to apologize for the less than stellar audio quality throughout the episode. I realized in post-production that I recorded the whole episode with my mic muted. So, yeah, don't claim to be perfect, but I thought this was a really awesome episode, so I wanted to get it out there. It sounds okay, but it's not up to our usual standards. So I hope you guys enjoy as well. Coming up next Tuesday, I think we're going to do Ocean's 11. It's got an anniversary coming up here really soon. So, yeah, I think we're going to do that one. So, until next Tuesday, I will catch you guys later.